Well, hey YouTube, it's Elvis Ammo here. Hey, today I want to do kind of a wrap-up video on picking a powder coat, or how to pick a powder coat. In this case, how to pick a powder coat out of 10 possible powder coats. And kind of the things that we did on kind of the things that we did to kind of get to that point. Okay, so in the last two videos, and I will put a link in this video to the last two videos as well, because by watching those other two videos, what we've accomplished is you were able to see how fussy the powder coats are, how hard it is for us to powder coat, or how easy it is, for us to powder coat. And so we've accomplished a lot. Hopefully, especially some of the new guys that don't really understand some of the nuances that we go through to powder coat, and then some of you guys, the seasoned guys, that are here just to see some other powder possibilities that are not so fussy. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you the powder coated bullets that I believe is the biggest success, and we'll talk about those powders first, and then we'll talk about the rest of the powders that, in my opinion, are eliminated for one reason or another. Okay, so first of all, if you're watching this channel and you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and then come back and let's finish this video. So one of the things that I've done differently is because I realized I had eliminated a powder during the process of giving these powders our shake in these bowls. I've eliminated one of them, and the reason that I've done that during this this process is because it didn't want to. This one just didn't want to coat at all for us, and we run into that from time to time, and we don't need to mess with those. There's nothing wrong with the powder, it just don't work for us the way we powder coat. So we got that one out of the way. So then I needed to add another powder back. So what I done was I went ahead and powder coated some bullets with our, some of us know this powder and like this powder because I've showed it years ago. And this is the Eastwood dark green. Alright, and that's what it looks like right there. Eastwood dark green. And I know that some of you guys, talk about, you're not familiar with when they call it a hot coat and that kind of thing, and when you see it, you're not sure if it's the same powder. Well, I believe it is. And so if it says hot coat Ford light blue, I think it's the same as the Ford light blue, for instance. So anyway, got that out of the way. So here's what I've come up with. I want you guys to be able to see this good, and you guys can screenshot it or anything that you want to do. But this is what I call my Fussy Scale. Alright, so if we have a powder coat that's fussy, and what I've done is I put 1 to 10 on the Fussy Scale. Okay, 1 being the best, 10 being the worst. I know that might be backwards for some of you guys, but it seemed to work for me. So powder that's a number 1 is a number 1. That's the bottom line. Okay, so that's where we're at there. Over here on the side, I put what the recommended recommended cure schedule is for it. And then I listed the powder, and then I added a little bit of any notes right here beside it, and then I graded it on my Fussy Scale. So I guess well, let me talk about, to me, anything over a 3 is just too fussy, and we don't need to be messing with it, and don't need to force the powder on it, and don't need to be messing around with it trying to make the powder stick, in my opinion, because there's too many powders. Although a lot of us run into powders just because we're just picking powders without knowing whether they work or not. We'll pick a powder and it don't work real well for us. So then we just, you know, we think that all the powders are like that. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm here to help you. Because I wish somebody was here to help me pick out powders instead of just picking out a bunch of powders and failing. So anyway, so I say anything over a 3 is just perfect. We can deal with that. We prefer a number 1. So I'm just going to go right to the 2, 3. Okay, the 2 and the 3 and the 1s. That's what I have. So what I have is I have 10 powders listed. Okay. And then I have a number that I graded it by out here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6 actually out of these 10 that are a thumbs up, go, possibly, maybe, and let me explain that. Don't just say if I grade it a 1 that it's perfect, I'm going to just get that one and go with it, because I do have some caveats that can go with this when we look at the bullets. Alright, so everybody knows that Ford Light Blue is our all-time favorite. I give it a smiley face because anything with a smiley face on this sheet, you can look for smiley faces, there's not many, is my personal favorite or personal recommendation even. It's my personal favorite or recommendation. So, so how many smiley faces do I have? You know what? I've only got 2 smiley faces there. And so the here's all the number 1 to 3. Let me give them to you. Columbia Chrome. This was it right here. This is what it looked like. I really loved it. Okay. Loved it. I really think that it coated. I give it a 2-3 on the Fussy Scale. Okay. And then I went ahead and put some through the sizer and just examined them. And this is what a couple of them look like going through the sizer. Right there. You can see where they were sized, smashed down right there. This is what you already seen a close up. This was kind of my favorite, guys. Right there. It really, there's a good base right there. They just coated good. Alright, so the problem with this one is I'm trying to make heads or tails of it. I went to the website a couple of times, and on one of them it said discontinued. And I'm thinking that's a real bummer, because that's like one of my favorite new powders. And then they have one, and then they specify, you know, if you like this, use the chromachrome. Okay, so there you go. I'm just getting this one out of the way. You know, good news, excellent news, and then bad news, whatever. So anyway, that's it. They're saying that it's 385 Fahrenheit for 20 minutes is the cure time. let's move along. We're going to make this video just way too long, I think. Because there's so much to talk about. And so that was one of my personal new favorites. And then we have the Ford Light Blue, of course. That's what it looks like. I just went ahead and so see, it's not perfect. So you see the coating. I just really want you to see the coating on it. You got all these bullets that you're looking at. Okay, they're not exactly perfect, but man, that's a good, seems like pliable powder coat, and it holds up. It's tough, and it coats fast and easy. All-time favorite. Okay, so I just wanted you to see that, just a close-up of a bunch of them. You know, there's a base of an imperfect bullet and a perfect bullet. You got the nice, beautiful, smooth base, and then a ripped base. But you can, I just wanted you to see the coating. There you go, got that out of the way. Now, that was graded a #1, Ford Light Blue, obviously. All right, and we talked about the Columbia Chrome. Mark that one right there. And now this was a new one that I threw in. Okay, and in this test we used the same bowl. All right, it was $2 for 2 bowls, so they're $1 a bowl at the Dollar General. And yeah, I'm not a sponsored by Dollar General. And this was the Eastwood dark green. Just before I come on here, I went ahead and swirled some bullets in there, just so I can show you and add another powder to the mix to make 10. And this is a close-up of those bullets. They're excellent, but you can see that there's some spots on there. It's not perfect. Now this is no special handling at all. I touch every bullet with my hands, throw them in, and I don't do anything special at all. And you can see, like, look at the base there. There's, a couple marks there, but this stuff holds up well, no problem. That's a #1 right there. Eastwood dark green. We'll move that one out of the way. Mark that one off. Let's go. Okay, well, let's go to what I put down on. I know if you guys seen this list just a minute ago, you also noticed that the Hawaiian Blue prismatic powder, I put #0 because it was better than a 1. All right, the Hawaiian Blue right here was better than a #1. It coated no sooner than the bullets touched the powder touched the bullets. It was already coating. I couldn't stop it from coating if I wanted to. All right, so I put it down as a 0, but there's a caveat. Now the Hawaiian, now it's a 400 degree Fahrenheit at for 10 minutes. All right, for the cure. But I believe this is a top coat. It's a transparent top coat. Maybe this has something to do, with the extreme high gloss on why it acted the way it did. I believe that, glossier bullets do coat better, so that probably has something to do with it. Maybe we'll find maybe there'll be a powder coating company that will contact me. I have contact information in my channel, and I would love to have a company like Eastwood or Prismatic or Columbia contact me and educate me a little bit on what we're seeing and why we're getting the results we are, and maybe some samples, and we could just keep moving along and having some more fun with this. But look at the powder. Okay, they're beautiful. It's a beautiful color. But do you see, it looks kind of chippy. There's some chippiness there to it. Okay. Now I run them through the sizer, and they're sizing just fine. You can see they're sizing just fine. It's not trying to rip it off or anything like that. But you can see how. But these I don't think are just meant to be a powder alone. But personally, I believe that this is probably a good enough coating to shoot. No problem, is what I think. But there are some, like this, And we always run into stuff like that every once in a while. You can throw it out, but it'll probably shoot just fine. Anyway, that was the Hawaiian, okay? It coats so dang good, it's just unbelievable it coats so good. But the caveat is, it's a little chippy. I'm not so sure if I trust my durability test to it. But what we will do in the future is I will shoot some of these and try to collect some of the bullets and see what they look like out of the barrel. So let's move along. That was the number 0. And then we have the transparent blue. Okay, now this is another one that I believe is really meant for a top coat. And now its coating is slightly better than the Hawaiian. And this isn't a put down on the powder. It's just how we use them. We use them a little different. So there you go. That's the transparent blue. Now the transparent blue is a number 1 graded for the fussiness scale. It's not fussy. I mean, it went on fast and easy. No problem. You guys seen it in the other videos. Me swirl this up and it just, boom, it was coated. No problem. So I run these through. I'll let you see a base there. See, it coats good, but it kind of reminds me of some stuff that's a little chippy. Okay, and there's 2 of them that went through the sizer. No problem. So I would say that if you guys really like this and you want to try it out, it's probably just fine. You know. Now if you see my my Fussy Scale that I put up here several times, I also list whether it's a Columbia powder or a prismatic powder or an Eastwood powder, because those are the 3 powders that I'm using here today. All right. So so there you go. Let's see. We got the got the transparent blue out of the way, and the super blah blah blah. Okay, we got another number 1 to do first. It's the super satin green. Now you guys seen the super satin green. Let me mark it off here so I don't do it again. You guys seen this one. Alright, take a good look at it. Now that was a number 1 for sure. I mean, that powder was trying to coat fast. Excellent, excellent. And I really do believe, even though, look at the patchiness, it's a little spotted, okay? But I wouldn't let that discourage me though, okay? I really believe this is a good powder. You know, I think that it's just that the pigmentation is just maybe not as strong, okay? But man, there's some good coating in there. You know, I mean, I wouldn't hesitate at all to use this powder. See, look at the bases of the bullets. It's great. So there you go. That's a number 1. If you're doing super satin green, I mean, that's you can't go wrong with that. You can't. I mean, if anybody out there is struggling with a powder and you want something easy to coat, you can get that no problem. All right. So there we go. So the aqua clear, of course, we eliminated that one. And it was just way too hard to coat. If you're twirling around and you can't get it to coat, you need to go with another powder. So then we have the all-in-one chrome bonded that some people liked, and I like it too. But I'm classifying this one as a number 7. Okay. Now, if you look at the coating on it, I did finish it off. It took me a lot more spinning and fussiness to get these to coat, but once it did coat, I promise you, you know, for you guys out there that just love this right here, and you can look at the coating, I think the coating looks good. It's called an all-in-one bonded. Seems like from the information that you get on this powder, it seems like it's probably going to be a nice durable powder. And You know, it looks flexible enough. It can be used as a base coat. It's not just a clear coat kind of thing. So I would trust the powder, but I'm telling you, it is a number 7 with the fussiness. So I won't be buying it, but I wouldn't turn somebody away from it. But just know that it's the fussy one. There you go, all in one chrome bonded. Get you a good look. It does look beautiful once you get it coated good, if you're ready to fight. And then you have the Illusion Purple. Okay, the Illusion Purple, I think that was one of the first ones that I did, and it's a TGIC polyester powder, which has a lot in common with the powders that do so well for us. Okay, like the Eastwood dark green and the Ford light blue, and what I believe is the Columbia chrome. So yeah, but the Illusion Purple was a number 8. It didn't want to coat for us. Okay, but now that I'm looking at the coating after I made it coat, and you can see the sized bullets. You know, they coated, they sized well. The coat seems durable and all of that, but look, you know, it's a number 8, so that's not mine, I can tell you that. But it does, I mean, and it being a 400 for 10 minutes, I'm thinking that the Illusion Purple is really supposed to be just a top coat only. So I believe I'm correct on that. So there you go. And then we have the super durable wet clear, that white looking powder that we use. This super durable wet clear, let you get a good look at that one. But the problem is, it's a number 5. You know, so I remember coating this one, and I mean, it don't strike me as not doable. It really don't. I mean, it seemed to actually coat just fine. You know, it was just a little extra work, so it was a number 5. But the super durable wet clear. You know, I think it is super durable. You know, just looking at the coating and running it through the sizer and examining the bullets and all of that. You know, here's some bases. You know, it is more of your clear coat type, but I think that it can be used as a standalone. So I got high hopes for it if somebody wanted to use it. But it is a number 5, which is outside my fussiness scale that I like. So so that's that. And then this is just all Ford light blue, you know. And so there you go, guys. You see the fussiness scale right there. There it is. We went through a lot of information. For anybody, I would encourage everybody to watch those other 2 videos where you can actually see how we do things and listen to the conversation and how we get frustrated and how we get excited when we see something that we like to see, you know, that indicates there's good news around the corner. So that's why we're doing this series. And I guess the next thing for these bullets is I'll do my very best, guys, to shoot some of these and collect them. It's not always that easy, but I'll try, and especially our number 1s to 1 to 3s, okay? Especially those, and maybe we can find some information on those, on how well they do when they make it down the barrel. YouTube, I'll see you in the next video.